Hey folks, welcome to another episode of the Doing It 365 podcast. It's your host, Sir Influential out of Flags 365. And my guest today is a man that likes to entertain. He likes to see the ladies them get on bad with themselves. And his music is solely, or for the most part, catering to the woman them. He's a man that deals with numbers. Even though want a small amount of excitement, you want a small amount of girls in the crowd that vibe to music. You want 5, 10, 50, 20, and more. My guest today is none other than the infamous, the big bad, the people's champion, Klassik Frescobar. Klassik, what's going on, my brother? How you doing?
You don't know it's Klassik Frescobar, the Gallium Star, aka Mr. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm glad to be here with you, Sir Influential. Flags 365, you don't know.
Yes, manners and respect. It's been a long time forwarding, bro. I've been watching and I've been a part of the journey since about 2016, 17.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's 5 years now.
Yeah, man.
And the waves now are being really made and felt. Talk to us about the early beginnings of your career, your journey.
Well, you've been a part of it since early. You're not just one of the people that just listened to the music. I never supported from day one. Once I got the music to you, you played it, you supported it, you reposted it. You've always been involved. You've given advice and direction. So big up you. But outside of that, I used to rap. I used to make rap music, and I shifted over to dancehall music specifically in 2016. So that's when me and you link up,
Mhm.
and I ended up shifting over to soca just to try it in 2018, and it just went to the moon after that. I've been leaning more into the zest music. For those who do not know, zest is kind of like a hybrid of soca and Trinidad soca and Jamaican dancehall put together. And
Mhm.
that's what I've been, really, really campaigning for and pushing for in the last 6, 7, 8 months. So that's a quick summary of how we got to here to 2021.
Dope. And I love that summary because it's interesting when you hear people say, yo, they go from rap to dancehall to soca zest because you'd feel like being in America, why would you want to come away from the rap? Because the rap is the thing. Like that the rap is respected, it's appreciated, there's a massive international fan base, you can tour, you can do everything from it. So why did you say, you know what? Put the rap down. Let me go back to my your roots because you're Jamaican, right?
Yes, yes. Well, for me, I'm Jamaican. My mom and dad are Jamaican. My grandparents are from other places that migrated to Jamaica. So I always had a mix of cultures my whole life. I always had a multi-dimensional point of view because of that, a multicultural point of view because of that. But as far as me shifting away from rap, people might say in the US rap is the thing, but rap is not my thing. Zine, like my roots is not in that. It's something that I was born in the US, but raised in Jamaica from ages 2 to ages 13. So my roots are really in a Jamaican point of view.
Mhm.
So rap music was something that was foreign to me. So it just made more sense for me to, and it felt better being more in tune to a more Caribbean type of musical aesthetic. It just clicked, worked out better for me now, and you can see that from, I was probably rapping for like 5 years, and I've been doing Caribbean music, especially in the soca and zest diaspora, for 2 years. I bust like that, so it's more me. You know,
Mhm.
that's how it go.
And it's it's interesting again to hear that because for some people that shift in the paradigm is not easy to make and to maintain because to say yo you have this Caribbean upbringing, some people would try to do the two. They're gonna try and rap, or they're gonna bring the Caribbean lingo, dialect, flow, vibe into the rap, whereas you've just said, you know what, put it straight down and just give this the full 100. Who are some of the influences to make you solidify the decision and say, you know what, I'm going at this thing full 100, straight soca, straight dancehall, straight zest?
Fans, fans. You seen? Because yeah, I had a fan base with my hip hop and my rap. I had a successful mixtape I had Red Cafe, Corey Guns, Ricky Blaze, Currency. I had a lot of people on my tape, but with the dancehall, I didn't try that hard, and I had a bigger bus. And
Hmm.
and then even with the soca, no disrespect to anybody, I'm just talking about my story. I tried even less, and the fans were more receptive to it. So I felt if I put more energy and time into it, the limit is the sky. So that's how I went off of it, and I do everything for my fans, and that's kind of how I've accelerated extremely quickly because I don't really have to go through the necessary politics and bureaucracy that
Hmm.
police a lot of the musical atmosphere that is soca, dancehall, and zest. 'Cause I just cater straight to my fans, not to the administration.
I love that you mentioned that because that's something that is very key in your development and growth and what we're seeing all of the artists doing, the social media, the viral trending.
Hmm.
But you've been doing music from before that. So how have you been able to manage it too? Because sometimes it seems as if the artist can get swamped or overwhelmed by the social media. So how have you been able to manage that and stay, afloat?
Well, as far as not getting overwhelmed, I definitely have a system and a schedule, and I stick to it. I don't overdo it and I don't underdo it. And how you said like I've been making music before the social media thing. When you've been around before, and when you're around it presently, you have two different point of views, and now you can put them together, and it works efficiently. Some people, they only know life before social media and they don't want no part of it, and some people, they only know life since social media, so they don't have the two sides of the coin.
Mm, that's dope. That's dope. And which do you prefer?
I'm indifferent. I adapt and evolve. That's just, I feel like it's my responsibility as a human and as an artist to always adapt and just be able to be the most efficient person I can be in what I do.
I respect that, and I definitely attest to that because you're a person that you absorb, you take advice, you take what we like to say constructive criticism. Because a lot of times in this thing, like you said, the bureaucracy, the policing, sometimes it can come across as if somebody's penciling you in or boxing you in or limiting your creativity. And you are a person that I know from the very jump, you don't want that and you don't feel that, and that's not good for
Yeah,
any
nah.
artist to feel and to experience. Let's look at some of your musical influences. Who are some of the artists, male and female, who have influenced you or inspired you or make you say, you know what? Yeah, I want to do this, or I like how you perform, or I like how your penmanship or penwomanship. Who are some of the artists that resonate like that for you?
well well dance all the people that there's definitely the difference between the people that I'm a fan of and the people that I am influenced by. And so, like in dancehall, the people that I'm influenced by is Cartel and Idonia because I feel like their style and construction of punchlines and bars is reminiscent of a hip hop rhyme scheme and structure. So I gravitated to that. It felt natural to me, and it had an effect on me. As far as soca, um, you know, it's always been like Patrice because she always puts out a lot of content. She floods a lot of content, and I feel like in soca that's not something that people urge people to do. But coming from dancehall and hip hop, that's something that is a thing. Like you have to put out a lot of content. You got to be in front of people's faces. So Patrice resonated with me with that. Like she's always putting out music. Patrice again, and that's the most standout person off the top of my head right now, and that influenced me in a soca atmosphere.
I love that. I respect that. I respect that. And I'm glad that you mentioned a woman artist too, and a woman artist that I admire and appreciate because Patrice is on fire. And
Yeah,
she looks fire too. So no
yeah,
offense to Ricardo Drew. But yeah, she really putting in work. Speaking of penmanship and construction and artists, we have to then speak about the songwriters.
yeah.
How do you feel about the songwriters that help to create the music that but they don't actually perform it? Do you rate the songwriters highly? Do you think that they need more appraise?
I've definitely written for people that people don't know about, and I'm not necessarily at liberty to say. But if the art, any of the artists that have openly said that I've written for them, that's the people I would mention. Like I wrote too much back and front, the whole thing, Marsville Fire, everything. See,
Mm.
Flo, I wrote the whole thing. I've lent my pen to other artists in Trinidad and Barbados. So I I'm not necessarily about the clout. I'm more about the finances, and as long as the business is good, I don't really business. You know.
Straight up, straight up, straight up. Let's talk about the business now for real.
Yes.
How easy was it for you to get, as I like to say, your ducks in line, business in order? Do you have a manager? Do you have a PR person? Your royalties, all of that. How easy was that for you to do? Because it's one thing doing it in the rap scene, but then coming over to the dancehall and soca scene where I could say we're finally now getting our feet cemented in that kind of streaming world. How was that for you, and how are you managing that now?
Well, initially, I have a degree. I have a bachelor's in business marketing, so I have experience in business and that type of stuff. And then I also have a certification from Institute of Audio Research, and so I know how to engineer. They make us take part of the courses to take a business class, a music business class. So I was pretty informed really early on, um, as far as putting the information into action. The transition of putting that information into action in Soka and Zest is difficult because it's not constructed for that. And unfortunately, people higher up prey on the people lower down. And there were certain things that I had to get fixed, and I'm still getting fixed, and I have to get lawyers involved in because it's just, you know, people just took advantage, and it wasn't necessarily me being like, oh, I'm gonna work with this person and get taken advantage of. My hands would be tied. Like, let's say I want to work with a certain artist, but this certain artist has a certain situation with this label or this distribution. I'm stuck.
Mm.
So, but it was never me going that route. It was always a third party that got me tied into something I didn't necessarily want to get tied into. That wasn't necessarily beneficial for me or even both of us. You know what I'm saying? But so it's a hard task because of the transition into the Caribbean.
Without a doubt. And would you say that is something that is almost plaguing the scene? Because, like you rightly mentioned, there's been a situation where it hasn't benefited you or the other party, the other artists per se. So, how comes we keep hearing these scenarios occurring, and what can we do to better rejig or reshape or evolve the industry?
I feel like education is very important because I know better. So when I get into the situation, I'll tell the other artist or the producer like, "There's nothing gusto. You have to fix up. Nothing all right." Zine. And a lot of times, they feel like they don't have the power, and all they have to do is click a few buttons or make one call or send one email out, and then remedy the situation. And another time, I feel like people, I'm me, dog, and I feel like a lot of people are scared to sacrifice to burn the bridge in order to get their just due. And I
Mm.
feel like, yo, dog, if the bridge wasn't there to begin with, if they weren't willing to give you your just due, the respect wasn't there and the love wasn't there, so burn it. You'll find it somewhere else. That's how I feel. But I feel like a lot of people are scared to bother the wasp nest because they're like, oh, I don't want to start any trouble and then mash up my thing. It's like, well, you want to be broke? That's on you. That's not my thing. I don't care who don't like me. I'm not. I got bills to pay. You dig? Zin.
That's
So
right. That's right. That's right. 110%. And I feel like it's not to be cutthroat, but it's to be protective of the business because, rightly so, like you said, you are a business and you're about your business. So more artists need to have that mentality and do it more strategically to ensure that the scene, everybody grows and develops.
I also feel like a lot of the people higher up try to pay the artist in the currency of popularity. And I feel
Mm.
like, that's unacceptable. I feel like, the easiest swindle that people tell you is, oh, just do it for the platform or do it for the opportunity. Listen, no, the answer is no. Pay me. If you don't pay me, I'll just work hard enough for you to pay me. That's it. I don't need
Sim-
the opportunity. I wasn't supposed to be there then. If you don't want to pay me, I'm not supposed to be here. And that's normalized. They, these higher up people normalize paying these artists in the currency of clout and popularity, and that only gets you but so far.
110%, because studio time ain't cheap. Audio engineering ain't cheap. The producer ain't cheap. And your creativity, your intellectual property shouldn't be cheap, seen as cheap commodity.
Yeah, of course not.
110%.
Of course not.
Let's talk about your creative process. How do you go
Yes.
about writing your hit songs?
Um, you know what it is? It's one of those things where it's like I kind of experiment, and what works I keep with, and what doesn't work I alter, and I don't do it by opinions. I do it by statistics and numerics. Because sometimes people will be like, I like this and I like that and I like this, but the numbers don't show that that is what constitutes,
Mm,
the hit. So because I operate in the realm of zest and it's rebellious in nature. And I do try to push the envelope when it comes to lyrical shock value. It's very deliberate, and I enjoy it. I walk that line of shock value and comedy. So I want it to be shocking, but I just want it to be just as funny. And I commit myself to, if it offends someone, get over it. And pray about it. I don't really care. Cry.
interesting.
Consult your counselor. And once I kind of make that stance, everything kind of fell into play. You can't please everybody. So I just focus on pleasing my fan base. My fan base likes the explicitness, the shock value, and the comedic aspect of it, and I just go forth.
But then do you feel that will lead you to be in a box? For example, people, artists, as great as they are, like Elephant Man, who now is in a legacy, but it's a legacy box where, okay, we only want to hear you for this type of dancehall in this era, and then that's it.
Well, I'm gonna
Do
say
you
it
feel
like
like
this,
you're gonna get caught in that net, so to speak?
I don't care about the box if it's my box. If it's classic box and it got classic logo on it and have the classic diamonds and the wheels and the car driving it to 100, now everybody's gonna be copying classic box. That's my box. I'm not. That's me. I'm not scared of being into my own lane that I curated and created and mastered. Now everybody have to catch up to me. Now, the problem would be is if I wanted to get out of what makes me happy
Mm,
to serve a consumer, because that's how you destroy yourself from the inside out. And I don't put myself in that position. And there's definitely been times where people have tried to put me in positions that make me miserable for the sake of broadening the scope. My happiness comes first, because you dig, like, if I'm not happy within myself, I can't create. And that's it. No matter how big you want me to be, if I'm not happy with it, I'll never be that big.
right. And it also, then would you say that also has an impact on your performance, because you're a great entertainer, you like the crowd, you like the stage, you like having the ladies up and engaging. So if you're not happy with the craft, do you feel like
Yeah.
that will entail also affect your performance?
Yeah, it'll affect everything. It'll affect my my writing ability. It'll affect my performance. It'll affect me even wanting to work with certain people. It will definitely damper you. And I implore all artists to be true to yourself, even if it upsets other people, because it starts with you first. You dig? Like, be true to yourself and find the truest form of yourself to give to your audience, and
Mm,
nobody else but your audience. Because what'll happen is, once you cater to your audience will champion you and bring you to everybody else. I feel like everyone
right.
wants to be, let me be mainstream, or let me do this or do that to bust. Like, nah, do you, and being you will bust. If you're trying to be somebody else, you'll never be you could only be the best you. You could only be the second best of somebody else.
Very, 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 very true. Very true. What would Klassik say is the song that boss him on the scene?
Um, looking good. Looking good opened the door and gave me the opportunities to make records like that. Too much, um, whoopsie in there. That it set the foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and that was all fandom. That was a song that was up, and a video that was up, and it went viral. No paid promo. All I did was send it to the homie Proud Caribbean. He retweeted it. Someone famous retweeted it, and it pushed. That was all fans. That was no marketing dollars. That was just the fans took it, and I kept praising the fans for keep pushing it, and it just rocked straight throughout 2020.
I must commend you on that as well. You're very, very hands-on when it comes to showing what they say fan love, fan appreciation. You're always retweeting, you're always reposting on Instagram, and it's great to see. And you're always championing your fans to say, hey, listen, if you like this song so much, tell your favorite DJ to play it. How
Of
do you
course.
feel that has worked in your favor? Has it been definitely significantly effective?
Of course, because we can call a spade a spade. I'm the infamous. You dig? Like, um, administration doesn't necessarily like me because I don't conform, and I don't conform because there's old ways of doing things, and I feel like they're not artist friendly. I feel like they're not efficient for the artist, and I'm not in the business of getting robbed and stole from. And you know, the administration can love me all they want, but if the fans don't like me, it's not gonna move. But if the fans love me, there's administration will have to meet the fans at least in the middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I always, catering to the fans is not been difficult at all. It's like, okay, this is the song you like, you dance to it, repost it, send it to your DJ. DJs like it because the fans like it. It'll move. Everything. If I do it backwards, it ain't gonna move. And I feel like it's real easy to fall into the trap of being the artist that the administration loves and the fans don't care about.
Well said. Well said. And it's almost like a tightrope, would you say? Because sometimes the administrators are and the DJs are the fans, and the fans are the DJs. So it's like you're trying to catch that balance, and you don't want to obviously not be in anybody's bad books, but at the same time, you don't want to be.
I'm gonna keep it 100% honest. I don't care who don't like me, bro. And I can say that with a straight face, bro. I don't care. I could be in the bad book as long as I'm in my fans book. I really don't care, bro. And that's the difference between me and them. I don't care. It's just and that's just me. What if it works for me, might not work for anybody else. I don't really care, bro. Because at the end of the day, I've been in a position where I was administrator's fan favorite, but they ain't put no money in my pocket. But
Mm,
you see the crowd, 5, 10, 15, 20. You saw the sections, you saw the lights, you saw the camera phones on. It costs money to come into the spot. It costs money to buy a drink. It costs money to get that ticket to fly to these venues and all of that stuff. Money was spent. Money talk. Love talks. This is reality. It's not fabricated. This is video footage of people interacting with me. This is not falsified streams, falsified views, fake comments. These are human bodies. And I feel like people really don't understand what it takes for someone to be moved so much that they heard something, it resonated in their thoughts, their words, and their body.
mm-hmm.
That is powerful. So I don't business if somebody else doesn't like me, if these legions of people came outside to see me. And to me it's like it's amazing, it's a privilege, and it's a blessing. You don't have
Mm,
you don't even understand. Like I did Miami Soccer Weekend. Too Much came out on my birthday. It came out on
wow.
my birthday. I performed
Okay.
Valentine's Day, Miami Soccer Weekend. Song wasn't even 10 days old. I said, and if the footage is out there, you'll see it on the footage. I said on the mic, yeah, I said, you them don't know this one, 5, 10. They said 15, 20. times a week. Just that. I was like, I, I looked back at the DJ. I said, yo, they know the song. My voice cracked. I was gonna cry. I was going
Mm.
to cry. I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't trade that genuine love for anything because it's real.
Real as it gets. Talk to us about that collaboration with Marsville. How did that come about?
For Too Much.
Mm-hmm.
So Too Much with Marsville was actually his idea, in the sense that he was working on a project, and we had collaborated before on Looking Good, and he wanted, me to pen something, and he felt that that rhythm was the direction to go. I said I checked out. I didn't want to do it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, whatever, dude. Whenever you want something else, I'll write it. I didn't say it, but I was kind of like, I hopefully he'll change his mind. That's in my mind. I'm like, maybe he'll change his mind. And then I was in Miami at the time. I went to New York, and they played the rhythm, and it had a connection with the people. So I said, yo, Mars, give me a week. I'm gonna pen something. And I wrote it, and I looked at it, and I said, Mars, I don't know if you want to voice this, bro. It's steamy, bro. He said, let me hear it. And he said,
Stevie!
and he said, that's where we're going. That's what we're doing. I said, you sure? He said, that's where we're going. And that was it. He never looked back. When it came to, my creative process, he's never second guessed my the theme. He's like that's where we're going, and that's where we're going, bro. I'm like,
Okay. I love that.
okay.
That's wicked. That's wicked. It's for me, these are the kind of stories I enjoy hearing, where two creatives, two artists, two enthusiastic beings for the love of the music, the culture, the vibe, the energy come together on a project, and it's just organic, it's natural, and it's almost like you second guess yourself, but one person is like, no, listen, trust and believe,
Yes,
and it's there because you're still a growing artist. You're still
of course.
growing and developing and learning, and as much as you have a great pen, you're still finding yourself and being sure of when you know you have it. But do you feel you can always know when you have a hit?
No, I all I know is that I write. I study the demographic, the target demographic. I write to make sure I connect to the target demographic, and whatever happens from there. Like, I really, if my target demographic in this deaf community as a core audience, probably, I don't know, maybe a million people out of you know 4 point something billion people in this world. So I'm really writing for a small amount of people, but those smaller amount of people tell their friends, like, yo, you got to hear this, you got to listen to this, you got to hear this, you got to listen to it, and it grows. So I only know I'm gonna be successful on, like, I don't even know what percentage of the world that is, but that's like what 0.001% of the world's population. I know it's gonna rock with them. What
Hmm.
happens after that,
It's
it
just extra
it, it
blessing.
happens. Yeah, it's extra. I didn't expect too much to grow outside of the target demographic. Um, I didn't know like that was gonna grow outside of the target demographic. Um, and I don't know if these songs that I'm writing are gonna get out of the target demographic. But I know if I write for the target demographic, if I write for everyone, everyone might like me. But if I write for the target, they'll love me because they knew it was for them.
110%. So what is next for Klassik Frescobar? We're in the middle of 2021 now. You've had a few bookings. You're on a tour actually now.
Yes.
What how has that been going first and foremost?
The tour is a reality check in the sense that I'm a lot more popular than I think I am.
Dope, dope. And also, I feel like sometimes people forget that a lot of artists are not the artists when they're off the stage. So how is that for you? Are you one of those people that you're a more reserved person when you come off the stage, or are you the same classic on the stage and off the stage?
In real life, I'm very quiet. I'm very serious, and I think a lot, and I don't talk much. While on stage, I'm vibrant. I'm interactive. I'm jokey jokey. So it's definitely a contrast, but you know, I'm not. My stage personality is a piece of my personality that I exaggerate. It's not
Mm,
something that's made up. So I feel comfortable being it, especially since I'm only it on stage for like what 15 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour. So it's different, but it's still me.
That's dope. And do you feel like since we've been in quarantines and lockdowns for this whole 12 to 18 months, has that forced you to, has one side of you grown more and the other side been reduced? Or are you now having to relearn that people skill? Because it's one thing to do it on a Zoom, but in person now.
I mean, I've always known when people come up to me, they it's out of love. You dig? So I reciprocate what's given to me. I've never had to. I'm not shut off. I'm not a closeted person. I interact. I might not look nice, but I'm kind and I'm sweet. And, oh my God, you'd be so nice. Of course, man. Me.
Simple as that. Has has anybody ever had like a starstruck moment with you? Oh my god, Klassik, it's you. And how do you deal with that?
Yes, they have, because in the sense that someone will be like, "Oh, that's the guy from the song," and they're like, "Oh my God, you're the guy from the song," and dealing with it is shocking because it's like, wait, me being the guy from the song is a cool thing. I didn't know that. It's still hard to wrap my mind around human interactions. People say it in comments, very rarely in DMs, but it's one thing for a human to be in front of you and you feel that vibration of love. You can't fake that. It's still like it's humbling because it's amazing.
Mm. What keeps, besides those few intricate moments, what else keeps Klassik humble and hungry for more?
Um, I have a large long term goal, so it's kind of like it until I've reached the goal set before me. These goals don't really have an effect on me. And sometimes I have to really take the time to appreciate it. Like, you know what? I need to celebrate that this happened. But I be so focused on my long term goal that a lot of times I forget to celebrate the short term ones. So
Mhm.
someone's just like, "Yo, bro, that was a big deal," and I was like, "I totally forgot, bro. I just did. I just did."
It happens. It happens. For those of you on the American side of the world, it seems as if you guys are enjoying life and carnival events are happening, fetes are happening. Is there anywhere else you're looking forward to traveling to once we can really be outside?
Well, I want to tell you now, like, maybe as of now, because I know New York is open. Florida is not completely open. We still have strong regulations, and a lot of states aren't open. So a lot of things you see on camera aren't necessarily the exact reality of the situation. And
Mm,
sometimes, even if it is the reality of the situation, it might be very illegal. So, you might be having a time, but you're still wondering, like, damn, my police might come or might get in trouble for it, leaving the venue. So it's fun, but it's still tense sometimes. And I really want to go to UK, all of Europe, and I really, really want to go to Trinidad and Guyana. I really do. Guyana has such a strong cult following for me when I check on TikTok. Like if
mm,
you look at my record like that and you look at the videos, everyone's Guyanese.
mm.
So I really want to know what that feels like in
Feels
real
like.
life.
And I'm glad you mentioned Ghana, because I feel like Ghana as a nation often gets overlooked. Because they're not in the Caribbean Sea.
Uh huh.
It's like, oh my God, you're Guyanese, yeah, and yeah, there's a big diaspora for Ghana, and yes, they're on the South American continent, and
Hmm.
yes, they speak English, but guess what? Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana, they're important. They're still a part of, I would say, CARICOM, for want of a better
Yeah.
expression. And I feel like seeing you do a tour in Ghana or a massive concert there would be amazing. And of course, the UK, I can tell you
Of
already,
course.
is ready for you. I've been showing you the videos. I've been
Yeah.
telling you, yo, as soon as them free up the thing properly, it's
Hmm.
problems because I know, bro. I know for a fact that's gonna have to be a tour, a European tour, because it can't just be UK alone or Germany alone or France alone.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
crazy. Crazy, crazy. What do you enjoy most about being an artist? Are you one of the people that prefer the performing, or do you prefer being in the studio?
The writing,
Mm,
but only for me. Writing for other people is difficult. But just writing for myself, just coming up with the words and then fitting together and putting it on a track it's fun. It's kind of like a puzzle. It's like kind of like an adventure in itself, and it's truly fun.
nice one, nice one. What else can we expect from Klassik Frescobar for the rest of 2021? EP, album?
Uh, 2021. You know, I got the too much video coming soon. It's done. You know, I just want to get some promotional and marketing things into place before it drops. Um, I got a record with Father Phyllis coming out. Um, I got also tentative records with some big producers that I can't speak on yet legally. You know, so it go. And but yeah, it's always up and up. It's never lower or backwards.
Rightly so, rightly so, rightly so, man. Classic, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, brother. I am enjoying the growth. I'm enjoying the exponential virality and seeing, the fruits of your labor come true. As we say, when we're outside, it's going to be a problem because I know you're going to manage
Fully.
this and fully. Black is the code. I
Black
know what I
is the
go.
code. You're done now.
Bro, link up, manners, respect, love. Take
Thanks
care,
for
bro.
having me, bro. All right.
We'll catch up soon.